Hey, this will be a video chart on KATX, KAT Exploration Incorporated. Want to get this one updated. It still remains a popular stock. Get lots of requests for it. Not as many as I used to, but still quite a bit. And it has been a while since I've done a video chart on it. So want to get things updated and kind of go over what's been going on with the chart. To be honest, I can't remember what I talked about in the last video. So if I repeat myself at all, I apologize. But let's just get started here. The first thing that's going on is I want to define kind of two different time frames. First, if you're a day trader or short-term swing trader and you bought up in this area, I'm sure you're not too happy right now and are getting frustrated with the things are playing out. So if you're a short-term swing trader or a day trader, the chart right now is bearish. And how can I say it's bearish? Well, all you have to do is look at the short-term moving average, which is that gray line there, the 10-day. It is clearly pointing down. So that shows that the short-term trend right now is down. That's the first scenario. The other scenario is you've bought this and you're holding long-term, and this is more of a a longer-term either swing trade for you, or you just are going long on it and you're long and strong. If that's your perspective, then the chart is looking good for you still. It continues to put in higher highs. You have an increasing 50-day simple moving average, which you can see right there. It's still well above it. So it's one of those perspective things, and the perspective I'm going to take from this is more of a daily chart, long-term perspective. So if you're a day trader or short-term swing trader, this video probably won't pertain to you too much. But if you're in this for kind of a longer term, hopefully this video can help you out here. So the first thing to note, besides a 50-day, is this line over here. This is a very important support level because at one point in time it was a very important resistance. This level is valued at 0.042. So I'm going to make this line extra thick just to represent how important it is. And like I said, you also have the 50-day simple moving average not too far below it. This is the line where, for the longer term players, right now, very evident, and I don't mean to state the obvious, but you're going through a pullback consolidation. That's just part of the game. The good news about this whole pullback and consolidation is check out that volume. Very, very small compared to the breakout volume. So when the price was shooting up, you had volume that looked like this, but during this period where the price is just going downwards, you got very small volume. And from a volume analysis perspective, that's what you want to see. Big volume on the up moves, on either sideways or downwards moves. You want to see volume drop off, and that's been the case here. So it's been healthy. You haven't had any huge red volume bars which show that there's been some sort of massive dumping or anything like that, and that's always good to see. But nonetheless, it's getting near the point where the bulls need to step back in and say, okay, we've had enough of this consolidation, enough of a pullback. Let's start to head back upwards. And the reason I say that is, what we don't want to see happen is you don't want to see this red line, which is kind of more of the medium-term type trend. You don't want to see this thing flip over and start to head downwards, because then you're going to have two downwards moving averages on top of you, and that's going to make any sort of bounce much tougher. Breaking back up above the 10, sure, it can be hard at some times, but within the context of an overall uptrend, it's not as hard as it would be as if, let's say, you have the 20-day now, which is that red line sloping downwards. So if that's the case, then things become more difficult. Impossible? No, but more difficult? Yes. And like I said, this has been pulling back for about 4 weeks now on low volume, like I said, so that's good. But it's time to kind of ante up for the bulls, and let's start to see some movement here. You've had plenty of time to consolidate. Maybe if the company hasn't put out any news recently, I'd say it's about time for something like that, because the chart's getting towards that area where it's like, okay, we're ready to start to head back up, but there's got to be something that's going to kind of light the fuse to get things awoken and rumbling again. In terms of other support levels, to be honest, this is really the only one that's, all other support levels have basically been broken through to the downside. So if anything, it looks like the price could be headed down to 0.042. And if it does get down there and that falls, then this is where the 50-day has got to hold, because if this doesn't and you get closest below that, that's where the chart starts to kind of fall apart and not look so pretty anymore. But still holding up here right around 5 cents. So even this level down here is a ways away. So hopefully, next week or the week after, company can start to put something out that'll get the price moving back upwards. In terms of resistances, what sorts of levels do we want to see fall on any bounces? Well, Primary objective is going to be that gray line there, which is the 10-day simple moving average. And after that, you'll want to get back above and get some closes above the 20-day simple moving average. These are going to be the key resistance levels. One thing to keep in mind about those is they are dynamic, meaning that as time goes by, they do change. So they're going to be fluctuating each day. But if you can get back above those, you'll start to cause them to curl back upwards, and then you'll get all the moving averages pointing upwards again and be firing on all cylinders right now. So that's going to be the two key areas you want to see get closes above. First, this gray line here, the 10-day, and then you'll want to work on this red line here, which is the 20-day. Overall, though, like I said, from a daily chart perspective, it's hanging in there, and the chart will remain looking attractive as long as this level can hold strong here. If it doesn't, then this is the must hold, no questions asked. 50-day simple moving average is going to need to hold as support. If there are any other questions on the chart, please shoot me a message. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, and with your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from penny stocks up to big boards. So there's good variety, something for everybody, and everything's all free, no strings attached, so it's worth at least signing up and giving it a try. One more time, this was KATX. Thanks for listening, and have a good weekend.